Hello everybody, and welcome to Skyward Sword!
Hello!
And, yeah. I swear there's a thing that I can do back here, but I don't remember, like, if I had to bring a time shift stone here somehow, or what it was. There is no time shift stone around here that I'm aware of. I mean, there's like these dudes here. So it seems like there's some way to get a time shift stone here. I just haven't. Okay, seriously, we need to send her the controller again. I don't know if there's any trick to being over here with a time shift stone. Maybe I need the claw shots to do it, but I don't know. In either case, let's move on over here. Because we have a time shift stone here. Now, where is it I need to go? I know that I needed that other one, but I think I can also use this one to get somewhere too. I don't remember where I'm going now.
No, have I ever told you why I made the elementalist have it so he doesn't have like spell slots or use magic spells?
Not that I'm immediately aware of.
It's because I would have to make tons of spells for the elementalist. And oh god. It's like you can't even just come up with like 10 spells. You have to actually make more than that. And it's like, really? Do I really want to do this? Because the elementalist class is basically you're just adding element to either your weapons or just use it as your main spells or something like that.
Right.
And the fact that you have a decision if you want to go spell based or weapon based, that should at least point out that you can't really do spells if you want to go with the weapon route.
Right. Yeah, the issue that I have with trying to build the Scion class is you have to come up with all of the Scion abilities and stuff. And I kind of understand why 5th edition is going more with the Mystic than the Scion, but I'm not too big of a fan of the idea of Psionic warriors suddenly being spellcasters as opposed to psychic fighters, monks, etc. So, Scions have always been telepaths and telekinesis and stuff, not spellcasters that cast through their minds.
Yeah, honestly, I would probably just not use, if I was you, I probably would have them different from, like, being able to use any magic or spells, honestly, and just well, yeah, come up with my own and say you can only do this and don't really use spell slots, but you have limited. Well, that's what you are doing, basically, right?
Yeah, the Scions that I am making, they don't have spell slots particularly, but they have
psi power.
Yeah. So yeah, psi points. And they can cast any psionic ability of any level that they can access anyway. You know, you can't cast 9th level Scion abilities at level 1, obviously. There is a limit to the extent of your psionic abilities.
Because even the Scions, they can just use power with their minds. Their minds do get tired. Hey, you should have it so that if you run out of power, you get a massive headache.
Actually, Mark and I were talking the other day about spell casting and stuff like that. And he was like, what if, you have your spell slots, right? Considering the idea of using spell slots as opposed to spell points like we're currently doing, you have your spell slots, and what if you could use, like, let's say you're a low level and you're limited to a 5th level spell slot, for instance. You could pool some of your other spell slots together to sort of create a 5th level spell slot, beyond your normal ability, except that it is extremely draining on you and will give you things like exhaustion and things like that. And I was like, that's actually a really interesting idea, but I haven't utilized it or anything. Mostly because we use spell points, and considering the fact that, with spell points, you're not really limited at all by amount of spell slots. A person that can cast 3rd level spells can cast as many 3rd level spells as they want, as long as they have enough spell points to back that up.
Honestly,
and not limited to 1 or 2.
But yeah, I think it's kind of like the idea I just came up with, where if you run out of your side powers, you do have disability or something.
Right.
At least that way, it forces the player to try to not use up other side points unless they really need to.
Oh, crap.
Oh.
I got electrified by this dude and almost got killed because of it.
But I
really need to know a way to kill these things, as opposed to just blocking their attacks. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
I didn't die.
You're lucky.
I just ran out of stamina. Run, push. I ran out of stamina again. It's alright, there's a stamina bit right here.
Well, I guess not for the very, if you run out, because then people are just not use the last one side point, but, I find there's some way to have it so you can tell your character is draining, in a way.
Yeah.
Because it...
Well, that's why I was saying the thing that Mark came up with. It's
but
like
that's extra work on you making your character class.
Well, I mean, it's really not, because like, for instance, as a Scion, okay, you can use all of your psi points, in one attack or whatever, and then you're out of psi points. But then you can give yourself a exhaustion to still utilize more. The psi points are the amount of points that your trained, or if you're low level, still untrained body can manifest without growing tired. You could implement the idea of you can manifest more, but it's a drain on your body, which is the kind of the idea you're kind of stipulating there. The idea that if you use too much, then you drain your body and get a headache and so on. I don't think it would be when you run out of side points, because then nobody would ever run out of side points, which would really hurt them in the aspect of if you're using spell points, or there's a warlock in the party or something, because they can run out of spell points without draining themselves, whereas a Scion wouldn't be able to. But I could easily stipulate the idea of most psionic abilities require like 2 or 3 points to even use. That's why they start out with 4 to begin with. So you could give yourself like 1 level of exhaustion to cast an extra like 2 points or something. And that I could easily see. And most people wouldn't do it because, well, have you seen some of the things that happen from exhaustion, you know? I mean, 6 points. 6 points of exhaustion is all it takes, and then you die, you know? So most people are probably not going to drain themselves to the point of exhaustion in that aspect. I feel like there's something I should be doing here, but I cannot get over there. There's a time thing somewhere. I don't know where though. I know there's a time thing I'm supposed to hit somewhere. Maybe I am just supposed to run it.
Like,
I don't think so.
but yeah, I know science are kind of hard to make not OP. I am trying to figure out how to make my class like in between, but that itself is kind of hard to do. I mean, so far my character has been not OP until he rages, really. But what I think he's doing pretty good in general to not be.
It's got it. It was just that rock that was in the way the last time I threw the bomb.
But yeah, so
this.
far my class has been alright, and I think I did a good job with the rage because honestly, with the elements, elementalist rage, he can't exactly defend himself as well as the barbarian.
Right.
Well, unless you're decided to go with the type of damage. I mean, if you're fighting basically, if you're fighting a monster that is using necrotic damage, you can always choose a necrotic type of rage and get resistance to that. But yeah. But
right.
Basically, you are most likely going to use it for damage anyways.
Right. There are a lot of limiting factors that I've noticed in your elementalist class, which has really been a good thing and it's worked out well. So I haven't had any real issues with it, so I haven't, said anything about it, because honestly, watching you play it, it feels mostly like you're playing a monk with elemental attacks. And for the most part, there has been nothing really overpowered or underpowered or anything really about it at the moment. And so it's been pretty good. We'll see what happens when we get to the higher levels. Because the higher levels are the ones that are more difficult, because you have to make yourself really powerful at higher level in order to fight the creatures that you're going to fight. But at the same time, you have to remember not to be too powerful. So
yeah, I think
really use some hearts.
Yeah, the only thing I'm kind of wondering about is the element specialty, because it's a really good idea to. It's basically based on how many times you rage with one element type, you can get basically a double dice on that rage once you use it again. Right. I like that idea. However, it will be OP once I am able to even use the that skill. But then again, you might switch the monster on me where it's resistant to the type that I'm using. So
Right.
I could either continue using it or switch to a different type of damage and just lose it.
Well, danger has increased by 30%.
So again, I kind of like the idea you're increasing damage, but it can either be very OP or basically but the other thing is you can easily lose it. That's what I also like about it. It really depends. It will have to depend on the campaign because if you're making a campaign where all of it is resistant to like radiant damage, then the players are going to be using something to up against that. And
it really is a matter of
the campaign and the DM.
making sure. It's a matter of making sure you have diverse enemies. You know, the campaign that I'm writing is a cult of blood, a sort of cult of undead, if you would. But the trick with that is I don't just send all kinds of undead at them or something, and then that's it. I send like golems. I've done a couple of golems. I send like humans, because of course it's a cult, so there has to be some kind of necromancers and such. It's not just all undead. And so, whereas, the players are going to be the players are going to be expecting a lot of undead for like the first portion of the campaign you were fighting mostly skeletons and zombies, and whereas you do continue to face undead throughout the entire campaign, you don't face purely undead. I sent golems at them. The Cult of Blood has dragon men, dragon humans, dragonborn, whatever you want to refer to them as. I call them dragon men because A, that's not copyright by Wizards of the Coast, and B, I came up with dragon men long before I even started playing D&D and found out that dragonborn existed.
You actually kind of own that idea in a way, then. So good job. I applaud you.
But the dragon men. I mean, it's true that the original idea behind the dragon men in the campaign was originally going to be the draconians from the Kryn universe. But then they never released them in 5th edition, despite putting them in the player's handbook. That bothered the crap out of me, by the way. Because draconians are freaking amazing. But that aside, even though the draconians are listed under the dragonborn race, there are no rules for them or anything, so I couldn't use them, so I decided to create my own. A lot of the dragon men have very similar properties to the draconians, like the ones that use acid explode into a pool of acid, the ones that use electricity explode into a gigantic, electric blast, etc. But it's not like, it's not, I think the biggest thing that separates them, to be honest, too, is draconians are all metallic dragon eggs, whereas the dragon men in my campaign are all chromatic dragon eggs. They all come from chromatic eggs instead. So instead of facing brass dragon men, you fight black dragon men, and so on. And So it's a bit different from Draconians and Dragonborn and such, but I did make an entire race out of them and everything, so it's just kind of nice that way. So
yeah, thinking about it, it probably is best if I just keep it so you do double damage with them once you keep raging with the same type, because that in a way kind of forces the DM to realize, oh shit, I need to do different enemies.
right, a good dungeon master, even if there's a theme to the campaign, will still throw diverse enemies, you know. And I just destroyed a tumbleweed. Literally the thing that I needed. Oops. Oh, he's dead. So, in the next episode, we will continue on through the Lanayru Desert. Hopefully, I won't destroy the tumbleweeds next time, but I will actually attain them, because they are one of the things that I desperately need. So, yeah, if you've been enjoying, please feel free to subscribe, drop a like, check out our Patreon, check out Mia's channel. There is a link to that in the description. And share her out to your friends. Let them know, hey, look, there's this girl making Skyward Sword all the timeline. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. So, anyway, I guess I'll see everybody next time.
Bye bye.
Keep calm and punny on, everybody.